Can I come in your kitchen, baby, and cook all night long with you?
Buonasera a tutti. My name is Christina. You are here on the main, and tonight is a beautifully simple Italian dinner that I am going to show you how to make. Traditionally, it is called eggplant Milanese, and tonight we're going to refer to it as fried eggplant, because I know you don't want me saying eggplant Milanese 100 times. Keeping us live with this live stream is Tech Savvy. They rock us every single week with the best internet in the game. If you haven't called them, make sure you get at them. Tech Savvy, they have your hookup for internet. They are one of the low-cost providers in Canada, always fighting to keep the prices down, and we absolutely love that. I've got 2 Italian eggplants rocking and ready to go. You guys should have all of your ingredients out in front of you, measured out if you're able. And what I really want to stress about tonight's dinner is that all of the measurements are really to your taste. And when, nonas are making this, or when I'm making this just for myself at home, I'm really not going in and measuring this all exactly. So the measurements are there for you, but I really want to encourage you guys to take this recipe on with reckless abandon, have some fun, trust those budding kitchen instincts that we are all developing, and let me be your guide. This is what we're here for tonight. Let me know if you guys are cooking live with me. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe, like this video, and if you are watching the rerun, I have timestamps for you down below. I've got 2 nice little Italian eggplants here, and I've got some of my ingredients, just some, measured out for the breading. Now we're doing a blend of panko and seasoned breadcrumbs. Plus, you are going to need some flour. I'm just using white flour. You can use whatever you want for this. And I've got another bowl just on standby for the wet, for the eggs. And this is going to get a little bit messy, but stick with me. I got you. You know how it is. We're not going to go too far ahead. I'm serving tonight's fried eggplant with a nice side salad. It's going to be fresh. It's going to bring some, vibrancy to the plate. And of course, we are not forgetting about that bellissimo tomato sugo, which is just a really fresh tasting tomato sauce. When you guys go to an Italian restaurant, this is like the all-purpose sauce that they're serving with your food. I've got it. We're going to flavor it up with a couple of garlic cloves. I wanted 2 large cloves for this, and these 2 weren't quite large enough, so I am calling in the recruits of a 3rd. We'll see how much of this I use. You can do this to taste. I've got a nice can of beautiful whole tomatoes here. I'm using Bianco di Napoli. You know I shop at Mistro Fine Foods. Mario is incredible over there. And I've got some spices out on the board ready to go. We've got some rosemary, garlic, dried thyme, some black pepper, and of course salt. We're going to need that, so keep your salt handy tonight. I've also got a little block of parmigiano reggiano. That's what we're working with. We want to have all of these things out and ready, and we're going to get rolling first on the sauce. So this is a little pro tip, and it could get messy. Let's hope I don't get anything on myself. But we want to start crushing these tomatoes with our hands. We want a really rustic feel to this sauce. So I'm just ripping these guys apart, and I find it helps to not get, so the juice doesn't fly all over you. I kind of push through it with my thumb to create a little spot for the juice to come out, so that when I squeeze the tomato, the juice doesn't come out all over me. That is not what we're after here. And I'm just breaking the tomatoes up into little pieces. Now, if you are cooking this for somebody, they're gonna be ultra impressed when you start crushing tomatoes with your hands. This is a surefire way to convince somebody that you know what you're doing. And this is also a really good task to delegate, because then everybody else feels like they know what they're doing and they feel like part of it. And honestly, I'm convinced the food tastes better when you make everybody help, because then they have this like inherent, they have this pride that they took part in the meal, and they absolutely did. So use those pro tips to your advantage. This is looking good. Tell me if you guys had a drink going tonight, where you're watching from. If you're brand new, please subscribe if you're brand new and you're just catching this live stream. Look how big these giant tomatoes are. This is stunning. This is a brand from California. It's an organic brand of tomato, and I just find them extra sweet. Normally tell you guys you don't need to worry too much about the brand of tomato you're using. Use whatever you can afford, really. Like, if you got what's on sale, get what's on sale. I like those tomatoes too. When I'm doing something that is flavored so simply with beautiful olive oil and just a little bit of garlic, I really like to let the tomato shine. There's not a lot of big, bold flavors in here. There's no oregano. There's no like garlic powder. You're not getting any of that granulated garlic flavor. We're gonna mellow the garlic flavor out in the oil. I'll show you. So really, this is a good time to use that fancy can of tomatoes that you maybe bought and you weren't quite sure when you should break it out. I've got all of my tomatoes crushed. Look at the vibrant red color of this. I'm just gonna wash my hands really quick. If you weren't here, I'd probably lick my fingers, truth be told. It's just, I don't know, it's the right thing to do. I've still got more juice in this can. I'm going to set it aside because it's all gonna come to the stove. Also coming to the stove is going to be your garlic. So grab your garlics and tell me how garlicky you like your sauce. I need to know so I can advise you guys. I am cutting the end off because I don't want to crush this garlic. Normally we are not shy about crushing the garlic. I don't want to do that tonight because I want to get it nice and sliced thin. And if it's crushed, it'll make it a little bit more difficult to do that. So I'm going to peel this first clove of garlic. Just get that peel out of the way. Ethan, having red wine, bread, and butter. Yum, that sounds so good. Honestly, Ethan, I wish I had a better response. I don't have anything right now because I ran out of time before the show. I was running around like a crazy person trying to get everything ready and time just got away from me, but here we are. I've got an ice cold water. Don't worry, I'll crack something open right after. That's why we need a showrunner. Maybe we should get one. Job description, bring Christina wine. I think that sounds like a great idea. Okay, I'm just peeling this garlic. I know it's a little bit more painstaking when you have to physically peel the garlic and not rely on that nice big chop that we normally do, but this is key, guys. When you go to Italy, there's gonna be two types of restaurants, and I know we're gonna get back there, we're gonna be able to travel. So there's gonna be two types of restaurants in Italy. Those that have red and white tablecloths and those that do not. I don't ever want you to eat at a restaurant that has red and white tablecloths. And you'll say, Christina, but what if it's a really good restaurant? It's not. That's it. Just don't. It's not a good restaurant. That's like the international, we are a tourist restaurant signal. Take your garlic, and I want you guys to slice it thin. Just like this. Watch me go. Tuck those fingers back. Take your time. You want a nice, thin, uniform slice. Yes, any restaurant in Italy that is waving you in, that there's a person out front waving you in, and they have red and white tablecloths, This sauce will not be in those restaurants. This sauce will be in the restaurants where you go down a little quiet side street and there's a whole bunch of tables lining that street, little twinkle lights everywhere. You'll think you've taken a wrong turn, but there will be a restaurant down that cute little side street, and that's where the locals will be eating. And they'll be eating things exactly like this. And this is how, actually, and truth be told, in Italy, they would probably just crush this garlic, let it perfume the olive oil, and then pull it out. But this is a choose your own adventure cooking show, and this is the adventure that I choose. I like a little bit more garlic flavor in my sugo, so that's why I am chopping up these two beautiful thick cloves. And this is quite a bit of garlic. I'm looking at the amount of tomato I have, and I actually think that this is going to be sufficient. So I am not going to engage my last little soldier here that I took out. That's going to be set aside. And this is really the only prep we're doing for this sauce. And we're going to start that sauce right now. So what I want you guys to do is to grab a sauce pan. Now we're cooking. I know you guys probably are used to cooking sauce in like a big vat on the stove. That is also That's for where you're cooking a lot of sauce. When you're cooking for a dinner like this, you want your sauce you want the water to evaporate in your sauce, because then you're gonna get a more concentrated tomato flavor, and that's where you really develop those flavors. So to make that happen quicker and more efficient, you wanna use a wide bottom saucepan, not too deep. So I'm gonna get this on the stove and I'm gonna preheat it. I'm gonna go to number 5 because I really don't want this garlic to burn. While that's preheating, I want you guys to grab olive oil. I'm using one I just picked up today, Mary over at Misto Fine Foods. I know he doesn't sponsor the show, he's just great, he's a friend of the show. He hooked me up with this really nice olive oil. I'm gonna use it for cooking. He said it was okay. This wasn't a drizzle only olive oil. And we're gonna use quite a bit, about a quarter, a third of a cup. Really let it flow. There's only a few ingredients in this sauce, so we want each one of them to really carry their weight. And a lot of good olive oil in your sauce is what they're doing in Italy. That's how it's going. The other thing you're gonna need is black pepper. I know it seems a little bit strange. Black pepper is a flavor that my Nona always put in her tomato sauce in abundance. And it doesn't bring a pepperiness to the sauce. It brings just like a floralness, like a really, just a beautiful flavor. It's very difficult to describe. You're gonna taste it because you're cooking with me and we're going to get there. Jessica says, they might give you free soda when you waltz in after closing. She's referring to stories from when we were in Italy, and we have those aplenty, so plenty of time to get there. I'm going to bring you guys over to the stove with me so that we can get cooking this sauce. And I will walk you guys through it. It's more important to go slowly at this point than it is to rush. Normally we're concerned with getting high heat, up and under. We want everything to happen quickly. In this case, we're actually looking for things to happen a little bit slowly, because the last thing we want to do, the last thing is burn the garlic or get any color on the garlic. We don't want any color at all on this garlic. So stick with me, keep an eye, pay attention. If you notice any color at all starting to develop, get your tomatoes in there. Don't fret, don't waste time, don't look at me and say, oh, she's not doing it yet. Get your tomatoes in there. You don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna get a little espresso spoon so I can do my pepper. I always grind pepper fresh for you guys right before the show. Gonna bring my tomatoes over. This is the pan that we're gonna cook the eggplant in. So I want you guys to see what I've got here and make sure you have something similar out and ready to go. But we are working just over here now on medium heat. I am going to add about a quarter of a cup of olive oil, and I'll show you how many turns that is. We've got 1, 2, 3. I'm doing 4 turns of the pan. I really want, come and see how much olive oil I have in here. I really want to get a nice amount of olive oil in the bottom of this pan, because this sauce is made up of olive oil and tomatoes. That is the key to a really, really nice sugo like you're going to get in Italy. And believe me, I ate a lot of pasta in Italy. Every day, every single day I had pasta. Every time I go, I have pasta every single day. And this is very reminiscent of what you're gonna taste there. So I really want you guys to have fun with this. These types of recipes are very close to my heart. I just love them. They remind me of growing up at my Nona's house. And I would always, she was a phenomenal cook. And one of the things that my family used to do to get me out of their hair, because I was so busy, was they would give me a giant bag of onions, or if it was bean season, when the beans were in season, they were growing in the backyard, they would give me just bowls and bowls of beans, and I would peel the onions and peel the beans for hours. So these are the types of meals that were being made on those days, and it always takes me back. The smell of the frying eggplant, I love it, I love it. This oil is just hot enough. I can just start to feel the warmth coming off of the pan. So I'm going to go in with my garlic, and I am really not concerned about a ton of sizzling happening right when it goes in. I'll get them in here so they can see this. I really Just want this garlic to perfume the oil. Make sure all of those slices are touching the oil, separate them, let them do their thing. You'll see it's sizzling a little bit, but not too much yet, and that's okay. I would rather this garlic come up to temperature with the oil than again risk developing any color or burning the garlic. We want this to happen slowly. We don't do things very slowly on this show very often, I have to say, but we are today. Let me know how you guys are doing. Are you smelling that garlic? If you guys aren't subscribed yet, please subscribe. My name is Christina. This is Here on the Main, the show where I show you how to cook live so you guys can develop that kitchen intuition and take it into your own kitchen and make this magic happen. Cook like you're in Italy. Aren't we in Italy? I thought we were in Italy. I mean, really. Okay. Oh my gosh, the smell. Look at this, guys. We're getting just a little bit of sizzling happening. This is beautiful, perfect. Absolutely perfect. I want to get my black pepper in there, and I'm putting at least a half a teaspoon of black pepper. Do not get alarmed that this is going to taste like black pepper or you're going to get a spicy flavor. That absolutely will not happen. Look at this. This garlic is perfuming the oil. And that black pepper is toasting as well. So just let this go a few minutes. You don't want any color. I'm still on low, very, very low. This is number 5, and that's low for me, honestly. Let it go. Let it do its thing. It's getting happy. Already. So what is happening here is we are mellowing the flavor of the garlic. If you use garlic raw, it will be very pungent. It will be spicy. You will have released all of those oils. If you cook the garlic like this, we're mellowing the flavor. Italians actually don't love garlic. That's why they would normally, if this were in Italy, they would crush this garlic and just pull it out at the end like this. They would literally take out all the garlic and just leave the oil, which you can certainly do. This is just my preference. And like I said, no one is busting through your door to tell you what to do when you cook. So you do what you want to do. I find North America, we have more of a taste for garlic. And I'm going to add my tomatoes, guys. Like this is it. Come in here and see this. Get all of those tomatoes in. Give it a stir. Don't worry, I'm gonna go back for those juices. Perfect, get those tomato juices in there. And look inside the can, guys. There's all that beautiful tomato flavor in that can. Can they see in that can? Is it a little dark? We wanna get all of that out, and I'll show you how to do that. We will put a little bit of water, about 1/3 of a cup in here. Give it a swirl. And we actually want to add a little bit of this water to the pan, to the sauce, because we're going to evaporate this, but we don't want it to get too thick. Those chunks, you could break them up a little bit with your spoon. We're going to season this with salt. We don't want to season too generously at this point. I'm going to start with about 1/4 of a teaspoon, and we'll see how the sauce likes it. We're going to bring up the heat just a little bit because we do want this to simmer. We do not want this to boil, just simmer. Look at this color, guys. Do you see this? And you're probably looking and saying, oh my gosh, all the oil's on top. Don't worry, it will emulsify. This is what they're doing in Italy to your sauce. Oh, beautiful. This sugo is going to sit right on top of that eggplant, that beautiful fried eggplant. The smell is already incredible, just amazing. But we are going to go back to the cutting board so we can start our eggplant. Perfect. This is going to sit, guys. This is going to simmer. This is going to get really delicious. I will leave this on number 8 until I start to hear it. So listen for your sauce, pay attention, And when you hear the sauce start to bubble, you can go over and turn it down to low. So we don't want this to get out of hand. Keep an ear out. We're cooking with all of our senses. If you get eyes on your sauce, keep an eye. This is great. Tell me if you guys are subscribed. Let me know where you're watching from. We are about to start building our eggplant breading station, and this is a big deal. It's going to get messy, I'm not gonna lie. So I like to keep a little towel handy, and I can hear we've got a little bit of bubbling happening. That's good. First, your flour. So I've got about 3/4 of a cup of flour here. I'm just going to season it up a little bit with salt. Not too much because we're going to season the eggplant, so I'm not too worried about that. So just season that up with a little bit of salt, toss it aside. Make sure you have your breadcrumbs. I have 1.5 cups of panko here and a cup of regular seasoned. I'll move this stuff out of the way so you guys can see a little bit better, just to make sure. They good? They can see? We're good? Okay, perfect. So this can all be mixed now. I'm just gonna mix these 2 types of breadcrumbs together, and we are going to season these up a little bit as well. I'm gonna get some salt in there, more generous than I was before, about 1/2 teaspoon. Good. I'm also gonna put some pepper in there because I really want to have some nice flavors running through this. And again, guys, like your average Nona is probably not seasoning this part of the mix. So if you're adding a little bit less, a little bit more, I always just like to add some for good measure, just so I know what's happening. I could hear that boiling or starting to simmer, and I'll show you what that looks like. When you guys get to this point right here, you're seeing a beautiful simmer. This is what you want to be happening in your pan, and you want to turn it down from here. I'm turning it down to number 3, and you kind of want to avoid stirring it too much, because what's going to happen is on the bottom of the pan is where the tomatoes are going to be cooking. We don't want to cook this sauce to death. We want it to keep some of its freshness. So, oh my gosh, do you smell that? It smells like Nona's house. Look at that, beautiful. We don't want to, like I said, we don't want to stir it too much because it's going to be cooking into more of a paste consistency on the bottom. And every time you stir it, you're going to get this crazy kind of bubble up. So it's just not necessary. Leave it on about number 3, just enough so that you're getting bubbles just breaking the surface. And then leave this to cook. It's ready to go. Okay, I'm setting these breadcrumbs aside just for a second while I prep my eggplant. Guys, I'm using 2 kind of medium-sized small Italian eggplants. You use whatever you have, and I'm gonna start by peeling back the upper portion right here. Get it nice and close so they can see. I also need to be able to re-edit for TikTok. Are you guys following me on TikTok? Add here on the main. Just pull back this part of the eggplant and slice off the top just as close as you can. You really don't want to slice off too much here. I'm going to do that to the other one as well. And I want you guys to be aware that you want to work kind of quickly with eggplant because it can turn brown. And I want to assure you if you do start to get some oxidization and some browning, it's no big deal. It tastes the same. We're not children, we'll still eat it. At least I hope so. Okay. I've got 2 eggplants ready to go. Now, you can peel this if you prefer. I do not prefer to peel these little guys, okay? So I'm not going to peel them. What I am going to do is slice a little piece off just like that on the bottom. Why? Because now this guy will not roll around. Where is he? There we go. I have a nice stable base, and I'll show you this way so that you can really see. I don't want these slices to be too thin, but I also don't want them to be too thick. So I'll cut one. The end is never the best piece to show you, but I am gonna bread this. I'll show you how thick we're gonna go. We're going a little less than 1 centimeter, like that. Because what needs to be able to happen is, you can see it, it's just a little less than 1 centimeter. We need the eggplant to be able to cook and brown in the same amount of time. If your eggplant is too thick, it won't cook all the way through by the time the outside is browned. If your eggplant is too thin, it just won't be a substantial dinner. I find those really nice thinly sliced eggplant cutlets are great for when you want to do a sandwich. I mean, heck, you can layer these puppies onto a sandwich and that sugo, it would be delicious. If you get a little pieces that are a little bit too thin, that's okay. They're still welcome. We love them. It does get a little challenging near the end, so sometimes I like to put it flat on the cutting board. Get down like this and go to town with your knife. Bam. Right there. That's a pro move. Give it a try, guys. I know you can do it. Perfect. I've got this nice eggplant. I'm going to do my second one. Get my little helper foot on the bottom. And about 1 centimeter. Draw that knife right back. Beautiful. A little under 1 centimeter. I think you're better too thin than too thick with these guys. Yeah. Oh, can I get one more before I do my slicing move? Let's see. Yeah, I can hear that sauce. I can smell it. Everything good is happening over on that stove. All right, I'm gonna get down, cut this again. That looks good, look at that. This is a lot of eggplant to bread, guys. If this is the time, if you have somebody helping you or you have somebody in your vicinity that can help you, now is the time, because this is gonna be work. I didn't tell you guys that ahead of time for a reason. Can't tell you everything. I need you guys to cook along. This is, I'm gonna show you guys. Look at this. Oh. You see all that oil pooling up on top? That is what a good Italian sauce does. This is a joke, guys. Oh my God. You ever order a sauce like this in a restaurant again? When you know how to make it at home now, we're not friends anymore. We're just not friends anymore. You can't. You absolutely can't. That is gonna taste so good, so fresh. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. This is the kind of food that for me is comfort food and that you guys should be making at home. You can absolutely do it. I'm just gonna arrange these guys on a plate so that I can work with them a little bit better, because this is gonna get messy. It's going to get crazy. Tell me how it's going. Is everyone okay? Are you guys good? I have all of these little end pieces, and I will say the breading doesn't stick as well to these, oh my God, what am I trying to say? These skin pieces, but it will stick. So you can take a little veg peeler and like peel off some of the peel if you want, just to get some of that breading sticking a little bit more, but it's honestly not that necessary. This is gonna turn out good no matter what you do. So you can pull a little bit off if you want, but like I'm just gonna leave it. I really am. I always do. I just wanted to show you in case that was an option that you wanted to go with. So, oh, I'm excited. Salt. You need to salt these properly. They need to be salted on both sides and liberally. So I'll show you. Take the time to season each one. And look, guys, I'm holding it from above. You can't season down here. That's helping nobody. You want to be up here and sprinkle with salt. And if you're thinking, oh my God, this is going to be too much salt, it's not going to be too much salt, I promise. Salt. Get some pepper on there. And guys, this would be perfect just like this. You could salt and pepper all of these guys, dredge it in all those great things, and it will be a-okay. Really delicious. We're going to do a little bit more to it tonight, because that's what we're here for. You guys want to learn how to bump stuff up? I'm gonna show you. Okay, get the pepper on. Flip these over, because we are going to do the other side. Please do not be a one-sided seasoner. Oh, I can hear my neighbors. Can you hear my neighbors? I don't know if you can hear it. Okay, next side, same thing. Generous season. Generous season. Yeah. This is like, you're not seasoning quite as generously as you're doing meat, but about halfway, 3/4 of the way. You can see how I'm doing it. I'm really not like, there's nothing too exact about this because this is a recipe that's supposed to be, I mean, I say peasant food, but what I mean is just food that was easily accessible and cheap to make. Eggplants grow abundantly, and it's just easy. It's all, oh my God, that smells so good. Okay, I'm gonna leave these. I'm gonna do my little ends, which I almost forgot about. I'll just help them out here. I can't salt the other side of these, so I'm gonna be a little bit more generous on the first side because nothing's gonna stick to that other one. There we go. Perfect. Those guys can just hang out. Okay. Next, your empty bowl. You're gonna need 2 eggs and you want to crack them into this bowl because this is gonna be our wet ingredients. This is our wet portion of the dredge. I'm gonna show you guys a really good trick. I'm sure if you've watched any food cooking content, you've seen this. I'm gonna grab a fork, but it's like a wet hand, dry hand method. Just give these a really good mix. And this is the stage where I like to add these spices and herbs. So I'm going to do some salt to season it up. About 1/4 teaspoon. I'm gonna do lots of thyme. I think we said about a teaspoon. About 1/2 teaspoon of rosemary, which I'm going to crush in my hand. If you guys have ever seen rosemary, it's a little bit woody. By crushing it in your hand, you release the flavor. That's a pro tip. So get all of that flavor out, put it right in. Oh, I forgot my oregano, which I will grab right now. Do about a teaspoon of oregano right in there. And of course, some black pepper. Okay, get that all mixed. This mixture is going to stick to the eggplant and it's just gonna give it a huge bump of flavor. Oh, heck yes. Look at that. Really get it nice and mixed. Give it a smell. It should smell really, really good. Garlic powder. I wanted to add a little bit of garlic powder. Just get that in there. If you want this extra garlicky, add more garlic powder. If you don't want any at all, don't even add it. You don't have to worry. Okay, that is good to go. The last thing that we have is the parmigiano reggiano. Now, there are 2 ways you can add this to your dish. One, you can add it to your breadcrumb mixture. You can add it to your flour, or you can add it on completely at the end. I'm going to do a little bit of all of those. I'm gonna add some to this mixture right here, this breadcrumb mixture. And I'm gonna do, we'll see how much. Probably about 1/3 of a cup, but I am gonna serve this with parmigiano on top because trust me, you want some parmigiano on top. Look at this. These parts are gonna hit the oil and they are gonna be so flavorful. Yes. Mix that in. Get your hands in there if you have to. Oh yeah. Tell me how your kitchen is smelling, guys. Perfect, look at that. Okay. This is our first step right here. Our flour, then our egg, and then our dredge. Like I said, this is going to get a little bit messy, so let me make sure. I'm gonna turn down my sauce to number 2. I really don't want this to be boiling hard, guys. Check on your sauce, make sure it's not boiling too hard. If this is your first time tuning in, my name is Christina. This is a show called Here on the Main where we cook in real time so you can actually learn how to do some of this stuff. We're making eggplant milanese, AKA Fried eggplant with a tomato sugo. You gotta see this sugo. If you ever wanna cook along with me, I post the ingredients the week before. This tomato sugo is just looking gorgeous, just like you would get in Italy. Perfect. Oh yes, I don't even like to add any basil to this sauce. I really just like to let those tomatoes sing. Okay, let's get moving, guys. Let's do this plate first. I'm gonna take a piece of eggplant, and I've got one dry hand and one wet hand. So I'll show you what that means. I'm putting the eggplant into the flour with my dry hand. I'm getting all the excess flour off. I'm putting it into the egg, and I'm using a fork to flip. And make sure you get all of that egg on there. Make sure all the flour is all hydrated. Give it a really good shake, and then into the breadcrumbs. And I like to use a spoon to put my breadcrumbs on top of the eggplant, and it's very important that you press. You need to press this down because what is happening in there is the egg is binding with the breadcrumbs, and you need the breadcrumbs to really hydrate. To do this is a step you can definitely do ahead of time. If you're making this for a crowd, you want to get that really pressed in there. I'm even gonna leave that there, and I'm gonna start on my next piece. Oh, I wanna get another fork. See, I'm trying to get a dry fork and a wet fork. So I've got my dry fork in here, my dry hand. I'm getting all the flour on that eggplant. Very important that you get it really dry. Knock off the flour, get this guy into the egg. And if you guys find you're running out of egg, you can always stretch it with a little bit of water or milk. Perfect, I'm gonna let that sit there while I give this another pat over here. Shake it off and onto the plate. Now it's ready for our next piece. Really let that egg drip. Get it into the eggplant, into the flour, the breadcrumb mixture. Get those breadcrumbs all on top. Press it, massage it, get it in there. You really want this to be engulfed in those breadcrumbs. Let it sit and move on to your next piece. And this is it, guys. If you have somebody that you can delegate to right now that can help you out with this, please, by all means, enlist their help. That's what they're there for. If you're feeding them, they better be helping. Unless you don't like people to help. Truth be told, sometimes I don't like when people help me in the kitchen, unless I delegate to you. Okay, there we go. And you see, it really does have a hard time sticking to those sides sometimes, but I really don't worry about it. Look at that. Look at that beautiful eggplant. And this is it. We just get them in here. Coat these guys. Thickness. Look at that. If you guys want to warm these up for leftovers, I will tell you the best way to warm them up is in the oven. Just put them on a little wire rack underneath a sheet tray. I'm gonna leave that guy in there. Put them on a little wire rack, preheat the oven to 350, and they will actually refry. And look, guys, I don't want to run out of egg. I'm worried I'm going to run out of egg. So I'm just going to splash a little bit of milk in there just to stretch it. Just a hair. That was like a tablespoon. You can use water. And this will not, this is what nonas are doing. Don't even worry about it. I want this to be authentic for you guys. I want this to be real, and this is exactly what is happening. They're stretching it with a little bit of milk or water or something. I'm gonna call it a day on this breading. Okay, I'm checking on my sauce. Come see it. Oh my goodness, guys. How does your sauce look? Look at that. This is money. This is absolute money. Make sure you give it a try for salt. Oh my God, it's so good. Oh my God, it's so good. The sweetness of those tomatoes. Oh yes. That is nearly done. I'm gonna leave it on very, very low. I don't really want it to stop cooking, but I also don't want to continue a vigorous cook. My pan is hot. I'm gonna knock the heat back just a little bit to number 6, 7. And I'm gonna get my olive oil into the pan. About, I would say, 1/3 of a cup, 1/2 a cup. Once your oil is hot, but not going nuts, which it's not anymore, you could start loading in your eggplant one at a time. Now, do a little shake and place it away from you. I'll show you. Come in nice and close. Place the eggplant away from you. And you don't really have to worry about crowding the pan. It's gonna cook all the same. And just piece them in there. There we go. I've got my pan on number 5. We want to keep the temperature up, but not too hot. We don't want anything to be too crazy. How's that look? Make sure you have good bubbles happening around your eggplant. You can see things starting to puff up right here. It's looking very good. I am serving tonight with a little side salad because I wanted something very fresh tasting. I wanted it to have something to play off of. Another great side is like a grilled meat or a grilled meats. You can do toasty bread and make it like a little sandwich like we were talking about. There's all kinds of sides you can serve with this. So I'll show you what this is looking like right now. Nowhere near as brown as we want. If yours is getting too brown, then flip it over, let it go, keep cooking. We want this to be the color of toast, nicely toasted toast. And we're gonna take it there. I'm turning up my heat just a little bit to number 6. I wanna get more of a vigorous fry happening. This tomato sugo, I mean, we're laughing with this. This is money right here. You make this for your friends. You serve this with even just some plain pasta, a good pasta, of course. You marry this with that. Oh, guys, beautiful. See, like I turned my heat up just a little bit. There's my oven preheated. And I've got nice browning. I want it to go further. Check them all. You might have a hot spot in your pan. Beautiful. This smells incredible. The smell you're smelling right now in your kitchen is exactly what it smells like when you go into the kitchen of a nonna. Look at, I'm getting like even lift on top. It's ready to flip. Yes. Turn your heat down a little bit. We don't want any smoking. Listen to that, guys. This eggplant is cooking inside out. I'm gonna get some more in there. I can fit some more pieces. I think so. Let's see. Oh, heck yeah. Just keep frying till you get the right color. If everything's getting too dark in the pan, don't be, like in terms of the little pieces of flour that are falling off, don't be shy to change out your oil, to wipe out the pan and keep going, because you really will get a lot of browning on what's coming off of the pan too, so you need to be mindful of that. And there's no shame in switching out your oil. The smell of this, oh my God. This smells like home. Super dark. I'm gonna take this out. Beautiful. Let's look. Oh yeah, you see that? Look at that bad boy. That's what we're looking for. Get these out onto the plate and keep going, let it go. Turn it up as you put new pieces in, because remember, give this a little shake. Get these in. And remember, we've got these pieces over here. Little parmigiano, reggiano right on top. This is the pièce de résistance right there. Heck yeah. These guys are gonna go right in the oven. I've got some salad greens in this bowl. I'm just gonna dress it with a little lemon. Oh, you know what I'm also gonna do? I'm gonna take some of this parsley. I'm gonna get in here. I'm gonna give this parsley a nice chop, not too fine. Talk about going to Italy. Get this parsley in with my salad. I'm gonna dress this with some olive oil. And some lemon. Look at this, I'm catching all the seeds, guys, and letting the juice run through my fingers. You pull this move when people are over, you're a real pro. Stunning. Oh yes. And salt. Please season your salad. Don't let it go unseasoned. We need to season everything. I'm just getting everything familiar in there because I need to check on that eggplant in the pan. Let's see. Oh yeah, see, I'm getting a little bit dark on the bottom, but that's okay. I would normally switch out my oil, but I'm not going to do the other plate of eggplant on camera because it's just going to be too repetitive. But I would switch out my oil for the next batch because you see it's getting quite dark in there. But this is money right here. Tell me how you guys are doing because we're coming down the home stretch right now. Our sugo is finito. Guarda. Right here. Look. Beautiful. Chunky tomato sugo. Perfect. We're going to chop up a little bit, nanze, of parsley just to throw on right at the end. Make it pretty. Yeah. And like, this is gonna be dinner, guys. This is gonna be dinner. Come see this. This is done. Just keep flipping those pieces until you get beautiful color. Look at that. That's a beautiful eggplant milanese. That's what you're gonna get in Italy. Most likely at somebody's house if you're lucky. If you're lucky enough. Hit that. Here, I'll do this over here actually so you guys can see. Right here. You want to let this just rain. Oh my God, the smell. Yes. Beautiful. That's it. Look at that. Eggplant milanese. Let's plate this up. Let's plate this up. I'm gonna do 2 beautiful pieces right there. I'm gonna grab my tomato sugo. I don't advise that you serve this right on top because you will ruin the crispiness of what you've just worked so hard for. So come and see this. Here's your tomato sugo. Those nice close-up shots for TikTok. Heck yeah. And for our crew right here. Everyone cooking along right now, live here on the main. We've brought together eggplant milanese. You did it. You did it in your own kitchen. Look at that. I am actually going to serve this beautifully piled right on the side. You can never have too much. Just again, I don't want to ruin that crisp. And a nice portion of salad because it's just going to bring some nice brightness, freshness. Ah, very nice. We'll put a little bit of green on there, a little bit on the pasta, a little bit on the sauce. Oh my God. Let me wash my hands so I can admire this with you guys. Oh, heck yes. Look at that stunning plate. Right there. That is eggplant milanese. Just stunning. I want you to tell me how it's tasting. Have you guys had a chance to try it yet? I'm not going to fault you if you put even more cheese on this. Come here, I want you to hear this. I'm going to put my mic close. You ready? Oh, yes. I'm in here, guys. I am in here. I'm eating you're eating. Oh my God, that's so good. I'm Christina. You're here on the main. I will see you next week, my friends.
Can I come in your kitchen, baby, and cook all night long with you?